Hey, we got 7.5 minutes after the top of the hour here on Wall to Wall Country. It's me, Casey, hanging out with you. Quick shout out to our sponsor, that is First Northern Bank and Trust. Their community, your community, their commitment. You can check these guys out to help you out with any of your personal or your business banking. We have tipped into the second hour of the show. That means we're up for another great artist to be hanging out with us. And I'm so excited to have this gentleman on board. These guys here, man, they have been kind of in business since about 2010. They got their start. It's a couple of good old Texas boys got together and put together a band, started messing around with some guitars, and hey, thought they sounded pretty darn good. So they do what any artist does. They took it out on the road. I want to hear a little bit more detail about everything that's going on with these guys here. We have the organizer of the band on the docket at the moment. It's Mr. Jerret Zoch of the OSR Band. Hey, Jerret, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I am very good, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day today chatting with me on the show.
Thank you for having me, for sure.
Yeah, man. You know, it's always exciting when I come across like bands like yours that, you know, everybody has a story. Everybody has a way that they got started where they were like, oh, I've been on stage since I was 2, you know, or
right.
Or wherever or however it started, or, you know, I mean, some great classic country artists, you know, had a living doing something different like Bill Anderson. And then all of a sudden one day he's like, hey, I think I'm going to go sing a song. And it worked. And he became a star, you know, so it's kind of crazy. So I want to know your story, Jerret. I want to know all about you and the boys and how the OSR band got going. So why don't you give us a little history?
Well, actually, the lead guitar player, Daniel Huggins, me and him we went to school together, known each other since we were probably in first grade. And we really got to be really good friends about right before high school, I guess. And he started playing guitar, and I saw him playing guitar, and I was like, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. Let's try it and see. And we started playing a lot of shows, like not shows, songs together and stuff, but we'd always kind of compete in the whole who can learn the song faster. and I guess it's kind of what helped us get to where we are now is our little competition that it's kind of a competition that me and him always had with that, I guess. But we quickly learned that we played songs better when we did them together than when we were playing them by ourselves. So that's whenever we kind of formed our part of the band, I guess. And then later on down the road, our drummer, Bernie, we met him at a party. I think it was like a New Year's Eve party or something like that. I'm not 100% sure about that, but...
well, it was a New Year's Eve party, so...
It was a party, I know that. But anyways, but he was saying that he was a drummer, and we were looking for a drummer, so we were like, let's go jam. And so I guess a couple days later, we went over to his house, and he pulled out the drum set and started playing, and not even a few licks in, and I was like, man, you're our drummer. Like, you're the guy. And my favorite one, probably, just because it's the funniest one out of all of them, is how I met our bass player, another party, college. But,
I'm starting to get a theme here, Jerret.
Yeah, exactly. No, but we were at another party, and he was sitting across. I was playing guitar at the party or whatever, and he was sitting across the room listening, and this girl was messing with him and kept putting her feet close to him or whatever, and I guess he doesn't like feet, I don't know. But he grabbed her flip-flop and said, if you don't quit, I'm going to throw this. And he acted like he was pretending to throw it. Well, it slipped out of his hand, came across the room, and hit my guitar. And I stood up, and I was like, who threw that? Well, he stood up, and he used to be a UMHB lineman, football lineman. So I was like, I think I'll leave this one alone, man. But no, he's a lot bigger than me. But that's kind of how we all met up. I mean, college and high school and stuff. We've all been friends and known each other for quite a while now.
Now, in your bio, it talks about actually how you also now have a keyboard player.
Oh, yeah. John Spates, which he just came on, I guess, about a year ago. And he's kind of off and on.
Okay.
There's some shows he's not. We kind of just filter him in and out. But whenever he can make it or whenever we really need him there, we'll call him and be like, hey, you need to be here today.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah, he's back and forth on it.
Okay, I was kind of wondering because I'm looking at some of the pictures, especially the one on your biography where it's the four of you, and I'm like, if my math is right, there should be 5 guys in that picture.
We're the core four, is what we say. So, we're the guys that have been doing it since the band really started. Us four. So
now I'm looking at a shot. There's a big guy with a checkered shirt on the left, another guy with a blue shirt, kind of long curly hair, a smaller gentleman with a purple shirt, and then a guy with a tee on. Who's who in the shot there? Do you know what picture I'm talking about?
Oh, I have no clue. Texas, I don't know.
Okay, well, there's 2 guys with beards and mustaches. One looks like red and one looks darker. One looks like a redhead in the shot.
Does he have longer hair?
Yeah, he has... like a long tee on, and then there's a smaller guy. He's definitely the shortest of the 4.
The Hispanic dude is the drummer.
Okay.
That. If you could.
That must be him.
That's Bernie.
That guy right there. Bernie. And then there's a guy with curly, longer hair.
That was probably me.
Okay.
I had the longer hair.
All right. And then there's 2 other dudes with mustaches and beards. The whole works.
The bigger dude is the bass player.
Yeah.
And then the other guy would be the lead guitar player. That'd be Daniel.
Okay.
So the bass player is Logan.
Okay.
And Bernie's the drummer.
Bernie's the little guy, and he's got the drums. It figures.
Yeah. I know, right? The little guy's got the biggest instruments.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. I tried to find it, and I couldn't. I might not have looked hard enough, but I'm trying to figure out what the OSR stands for.
OSR. It stands for Old San Antonio Road. It's actually the county line where I grew up, where me and Daniel grew up, and Bernie. Logan grew up a county just north of us, and we all played sports against each other and all that stuff. Our schools all did, and so we've kind of all been around each other most of our lives. Not that we really knew each other real well or anything like that back then, but we've always, sports and stuff, done all that stuff together. So
nice. So let's shift to the music now. Now, you guys did an album before the one that you have out now.
Yes, ma'am.
You did a self-titled release back in 2014. Now, it mentioned something about you guys writing the songs. Is there one particular person who writes the music? Is it collaboration between all of you? Where does the music come from?
It depends. Some of them are. I write a lot of them, but then Daniel Huggins writes quite a few, and then I don't think Logan or Bernie have written one on their own really yet that we put on the CD. They collaborated with us. We've co-written a couple, and but as far as just their own songs on the CDs, not just yet. I know Logan's written a couple that we've been looking at putting on there on an album, and one of them we were actually going to put on the last album, but the title was so close to, and the sound of it was so close to another song that I had written, and that we ended up not putting it on that album, whatever, but because it was actually, you said earlier, we were talking about it, and you said, I'm Gone, and I said it was supposed to be called I'm Done.
Oh, okay.
His song was called I'm Gone.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
Actually, that was funny little coincidence there.
Yeah, little ironic there. Yeah. Well, we're gonna play some of your music today. Just give people an opportunity to listen to some of your songs. But for this new album, let's talk about the new one now, because that's the one that is currently, you're trying to get out there. It's brand new out as of January of this year. It's titled Kings and Queens. Yes. Have you released the entire album as of right now?
Yes, the whole album's out.
Okay.
Actually, did you say it this year?
Oh, I'm sorry, 2016. I'm sorry, January 2016. Yeah. So the whole album is out?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have already put out 3 singles off that album.
Okay.
And 2 of the singles went number 1 on the Texas charts. And then one of them went into, the first one we put out went into the top 20.
Okay.
And made it to number 18 on the Texas chart. So.
Oh, nice. That's, And that's saying something. That says that people like what you're doing there. Are you traveling outside of the state of Texas much, or are you still, kind of in Texas? I mean, I realize Texas is a huge state.
Well, for radio, I've been everywhere. I've been in Kansas. I've been to Mexico, Louisiana. I've been all over for radio. And then shows, I actually went to Nashville not too long ago and played out there for a little bit. I had a little showcase that we did out there. And then we came back, and I played in Louisiana. We played in Oklahoma. I actually have played in New Mexico. So I've played quite a bit outside of the state, too. But Texas is such a big place that it's kind of hard to
right.
You can go for hours and hours and never get out of Texas,
Yeah. So. I used to work in Texas down by the Big Bend area, and coming from Pennsylvania, you're on 20 or 10 or whatever it is, and you hit the state, and you're like, I'm in Texas, I'll be there in 3 days,
Right. No, yeah.
It's like, oh crap, I'm in
Going
Texas.
Across Texas, I'll be through Texas in 3 days. I mean,
yeah, from one corner, kind of, sort of, to the other. So yeah, it's a big state for sure. You got a lot of ground to cover there to get your name out there. But nonetheless, I mean, now all the songs that are on this album, are they all homegrown songs from you boys?
All but 2.
Okay.
There is one on there that's called "Everything I Need" that our not radio promoter, our producer for the album. When we went in the studio, I had enough songs for the album, but I wasn't sure about a couple of them, and so we asked our producer about it, and he was like, "Well, I have a song that I want to show y'all." He showed us, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Man, I really like that song. It sounds really good. It's really catchy. I think people will like it." And so he let us use that one. And then a buddy of his had written one called "Getaway," and I did some tweaking to it, and we ended up putting that one on the album too.
There's 11 cuts on the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of them's the very first cut is just the intro cut.
Yeah.
It is. It's just the intro to "Sippin' on Shine."
Yeah, it's just a little ditty. A little ditty.
Yeah. I think it's 20 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, so there's actual 10 songs on here, 8 of which are, homegrown from you boys and that. The song, the name of the album or the name of the CD, and actually one of the songs, is Kings and Queens. That's not one of the ones that we're featuring, and it's not one of the singles, right? That you released?
No, it's not.
So I'm just curious, what's the background of why naming the album that and yet not releasing the single off it?
I couldn't really give you an answer for that.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That was one of the first songs written out of all of those songs, so I will say that.
Okay.
Because I actually wrote that one before we released the first album.
Oh, okay.
And because that was me and Bernie, our drummer. I used to work in the oil field, and he used to work at a plant. And we had the weekend off, and I was like, let's go to the river. Well, we were trying to get a bunch of people to go to the river with us, and nobody could make it. So we ended up just driving straight to Florida.
Wow. I think you missed the river.
I know, right? We packed up our stuff and just drove straight to Florida, and went out there, and we ended up meeting up with some friends that were out there and stuff, and ended up getting kicked out of some bars while we were there. Yeah. So, but we had a good time while we were there, and then we turned around and came right. We were only there for literally left at 6:30 on Friday, drove straight through. Probably got there about 6:30, 7:30 in the morning on Saturday. Went straight to the beach, drank margaritas and beers on the beach all day. Then went to the bar, slept that night, went back to the beach, and then drove all the way back to Texas that next day on Sunday.
Craziness.
So, yeah, I know. Spontaneous as we could be right there.
Yeah. Nice, though. All right, well, listen, why don't you tell us, I want to play one of your songs. I think the first one we talked about is Still Not Over You. Why don't you give us a little history about that song? Then we'll take a break, we'll play your tune, and then we'll come back with you. Can you hang in there for a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, tell us a little bit about Still Not Over You, which is actually the 8th cut on the album.
Yes. Still Not Over You was actually our last number one that went to Texas radio. And I don't know, I was sitting at the house one day, and I went and sat on the back porch, and I don't know, it just hit me. I literally wrote that song in about 20 minutes, probably, just sitting on the back porch of our house out here in Huntsville. And it was, I don't know, it's one of those songs, I guess it worked because I got the girl back kind of thing. Oh.
So it was written for someone. There was someone in mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Aw, nice. Oh, that's good. So does she know?
Yes, she knows.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, you're going to be able to tell that story, Still Know Over You, coming up in your music in just a minute. We got to take a quick break. We are talking to Jerret Zoch right here and having some fun with these guys. New album out, Kings and Queens. You guys need to check it out, and you can go to Jerret Zoch and the osrband.com. That's the website for it. We're going to talk a little bit more about how you can reach out and how you can get your hands on these music, a little bit about social media, and a little bit more with Jerret coming up right after we take a quick break, and his tune also, Still Not Over You, in just a minute. And we are at PennSpeakRadio.com, and this is the Wall to Wall Country Show, hanging out with Jerret and the OSR Band, and got a brand new album out there, a little something called Kings and Queens, since January 2016, getting some great airplay in Texas, and we're trying to help him out, getting that airplay extended out of Texas just a little bit.
Thank you.
Back there, we heard a great tune, a little something called Still Not Over You. Great song, nice tune. You got a breath that you can hold forever on that one note. My goodness.
Thank you. Yeah, I get that a lot from a lot of people. They're like, how did you learn to teach yourself to do that? I was like, I don't know, I just do it.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, that one note there. Pretty good. But, you guys can check these guys out for yourself, Jerret Zoch and the osrband.com. You can just search them. It kind of pops up. Are you guys on all the social medias? Can they find you out and about like that?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like everywhere you can pretty much find us.
Find a platform to get your music out there?
Yeah.
Now, are you the guys that answer and friend and Twitter and all that weird stuff? Or
Yes. Yeah, I do. I do all my social media stuff, and the guys in the band help out. What's on the band page? The guys help out with us. The guys in the band help me out. And but as far as our personal ones, that's all us.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's a job in itself right there, trying to keep up with all of that, for sure. Yeah, it takes up a lot of time.
For sure.
But, that's what makes it all worth it, getting your music out there, letting people know what's going on with you, and getting some likes and some tweets or whatever. Totally cool. Yeah. Jerret, we're gonna feature a couple more of your tunes, but before we jump into that, what's on the docket for the OSR Band and you and the boys? Tell us, can you give us a wink, wink, nudge, nudge of what some of your fans can be looking forward to?
Well, we have already started writing on the next album, so hopefully this year we'll be back in studio to start recording for our third album. And then we actually got word that we're going to be playing with David Allan Coe pretty soon, so that's pretty big for us.
Wow.
It'll be really cool. But yeah, hopefully we'll be in studio. I know the next album's going to be. I hope it surpasses the last one. I think it will. Obviously, it comes down to the listeners picking what songs they like and all that stuff to see. But we got some good lyrics coming out, some good music coming out. So I'm excited.
On videos wise, you have some homegrown videos there. Are you guys planning on doing any professional videos for any of your music?
I actually, Still Not Over You's got a pretty good video out, but we have talked about doing some music videos and stuff, and I think we will. It's just getting time to do it all and all that stuff right now. So
yeah, that's awesome. You guys got. You got some shows coming up. I see a bunch of them are in Texas and a few here and there scattered about.
Yeah.
all through the year. You guys update that list quite often? Do you get some other ones sneaking in there every once in a while?
Yeah, I was going to say we need to be on top of that a little bit more. There's probably more shows on that list than you even see on there right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, but yeah, because we have a bunch coming in right now, so hopefully that'll be updated pretty soon. But we shall. Are you looking at the website right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That one's probably pretty on top. But we're probably on top of that one pretty much. But
I mean, I'm looking at one here.
Town and stuff like that. The Bands in Town was a little off right now. So
the one you have coming up in just a couple days with Shooter Jennings.
No, that's okay. So that one ended up. So that got canceled.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, I know. I love Shooter Jennings stuff.
That would have been cool.
That's the one that got rescheduled for the David Allen Co. show.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, trade one for the
okay.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Well, all right. I guess it's okay to play with David, It's
yeah, right. I mean, if you're going to give up Shooter, I guess we'll go, yeah, it's okay to go play with David Allen Co.
Yeah, all right, That's really nothing much to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Awesome. So ways that people should keep in touch with you, what would you say is the best way to make sure that they're on top of what you guys got going on?
Stay in tune on Facebook. We're on Twitter, Instagram. You check out the website, Jerret Zoch and the OSRband.com.
Mm-hmm.
We have all our tour dates on there and stuff.
All right.
And then we're on Bands in Town, too, so you can find that. And actually, with Bands in Town, if you could put the band in there, and it'll tell you where they're going to be close to you. So you don't even have to go look it up.
Nice.
They put a show in there close to you, it'll tell you. So
nice. Now we wanted to close out the interview and the show with a couple of songs to remind people to listen in, because the whole show gets recorded and played back on a Sunday morning. But we wanted to play one more after we have our goodbyes, and we were talking about a little tune called "Everything I Need." You want to give us a little info on that one?
Yeah, this is actually the one that was written by our producer, so I don't have the story behind it necessarily, but that was the one that I was saying earlier about. We were sitting in the studio and just trying to figure out some extra songs to put on the album, and he showed us that one, and I just instantly was like, man, yeah, I like that song. Really, it's really catchy. I think the fans or the crowd will really like that song. It turned out that every show we play it at, people love it. So
great.
Definitely, I'm glad I chose that one to be on the album for sure.
That's awesome. And at the end of the show, we talked a little bit about one of the other songs, which I want to make sure I get it right this time. It's a little something called "I'm Done," right?
I'm done, yeah.
I'm done, which is interesting because that'll be at the end of the show when I'm done, but I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with me. What does "I'm Done" have to do with?
It's one of those breakup songs, Just,
well, I knew that was coming.
That's what it is. It's a breakup song. It's one of those. It's not Taylor Swift like, but but not be mean, but I'm just saying. No, it's not. It is a breakup song though. It's I don't know how to explain it. You do wrong and in a certain situation in relationships, and then next thing you know, things are going. You're going different paths.
Yeah.
That's really what the whole song's about. And another one that I sat down and wrote in probably about 30 minutes, just kind of hit you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look forward to hear that at the end of the show, to remind people to check in on Sunday morning when the entire show kicks off at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. The interview will be in the second hour. So, Jerret, if you want to remind your fans that if they missed it today, they can catch the entire thing on Sunday morning. The interview will be in the second hour, which would be 9 a.m. Eastern. I know you're a little bit behind us here from Texas. Something else you might want to throw out there to your listening audience? Anything that you would like your fans to know about before we cut you loose and play Everything I Need?
Oh, man. Just be getting ready for the next album to come out. Stay prepared for some good music that we're going to be sending y'all's way soon. So,
that's awesome.
and keep checking out just stay tuned. Just stay tuned.
Well, and if you ever find your way shifting north, we're a little bit north of you.
Right, just a little, bit.
Just a little bit. Hey, if you can drive to Florida back in a weekend, you can drive to Pennsylvania.
There you go.
But the doors to Penns Peak Radio, of course, would always be open for you. You guys would be more than welcome to swing by and do a quick impromptu kind of thing. And I tell that to all my artists. Or if at the minimum, when you guys have that new album out and you want to get more exposure for it, always just check in with me, and we'd love to have you back on the show in a couple months when you get that thing all solidified and out there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've been talking to Jerret Zoch and the OSR Band. Make sure you check these guys out. Good music coming from chart toppers of Texas Music Play. A couple of Texas boys that got together and are having fun and creating some good music, writing some of their own stuff. And make sure you find out more about them at Jerret Zoch and the OSRBand.com. You can find them on all the social medias. Your music also on all the electronic platforms out there that they can get it?
Yes, it is. iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere you can find it on there.
Do you have hard copies? Did you guys do hard copies by any chance?
We do have hard copies. If you and you can sometimes find those on I think CD Baby has them on there.
Okay.
There's you can go to our website and see it on there too. So.
Okay. Well, I'd be more than thrilled if you guys would send me a signatured copy for my personal collection, or extra that I can hand out also to some of my listeners. That would be great as well. I like to do that. But anything else, Jerret, you want to add before I cut you loose, my friend?
I think I'm good. I think that's it.
All right. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time today. Please tell Dylan thanks so much. And
thank you.
Stay in touch and let me know when you got something new and exciting going on. We're going to play your tune, a little something called Everything I Need, if you want to go ahead and introduce your song. And, take care, dude. And we'll talk to you again later. If you want to introduce your song, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Go ahead.
This is Everything I Need by the OSR Band.